Furious Driving, proud to be supported by Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the Furious fleet and for yours, with 10% off using code FD10. Follow the links in the description below. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and look at this, look what I'm driving, listen to this thing. I'm in the Crown Victoria. Ooh, that's the first time in a while, isn't it? How did we get here? Well, let's find out. We just step back in time. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving and welcome to the Crown Vic. And this is an exciting day because for the first time in about a year, I'm going to drive this car further than the end of the driveway. So fingers crossed it starts because the battery is not looking good. And I put the Draper battery tester on it. Come on, car. It does. Oh, the airbag. Why is the airbag light? Oh, the airbag light's gone out.
Someone stole my power bar! This stinks! This is totally ass! This is. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I think it's a low battery on this car, and that's going to cause a few little issues. Someone commented that the headlight's staying on. Could be a sticky relay, but also the computer gets confused. There we go. That's really odd. Okay, but hopefully, I think that's just a low battery thing because. Yeah, the battery's dying, the radio's gone back to AM. Now, I've not driven this thing in a while, so let's hope it still drives as well as I remember, as it's been a while. I remember being really floppily and wobbly and just a bit kind of crazy. Well, it still drives good. I did remember that correctly. The low fuel light is on, which is a concern because, yeah, I put a gallon in the other day and the low fuel light was already on, so hopefully I'll make it to a petrol station before I run out. That would be a bad thing. I'm not sure I can push this thing on my own. It drives so smoothly. You kind of forget that. It's a lovely kind of crisp, which could be a bit louder to be fair. And then you get onto the cruise and it's just silently V8 smoothness. I love it. One weird thing, I thought the door mirror electrics weren't working. Ooh, with that weird wobble. Oh my god, I've forgotten that weird kind of weight shift as you go around into a corner. But yeah, the door mirrors seem to have started working, which I'm sure they weren't working previously. I know they don't work on the Volvo, and I'm sure I'm not double remembering two broken mirrors. Maybe I am. I've also forgotten how light the steering is. Oh, flat spotted the tyres though. Cruising, blah, 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 blah. It's been sat for so long on those tyres that they've got a little kind of flat spot on them, so yeah, it needs a few miles on it to clear that off. So if we pass today, I will take it for a bit of a burn. We'll see more of that in a few minutes if we do. Oh, this is so much fun. It is just ridiculously light steering. Those flat spots seem to be coming out now as well, which is a good thing. Incidentally, I mentioned I needed the trim clips to put the side rocker cover, sill covers back on. Found some on eBay in America. My friend Darren, who does Auto Atlantica YouTube channel, he has sorted them out, buying them on American eBay for me and is shipping them over from Ohio for me. So with American shipping, that'll be about a week or so before they turn up. Then I can get the rockers back on and the car will actually look as good as it should. The wings themselves, they're not perfect, but they're not bad. I'll keep on sort of tidying as much as I can. I'm now debating whether to take the car to an actual body shop and get them to do the front wings, the fenders for me, make them look you know, really nice, because obviously my patchwork of repair panel aerosols isn't going to look the best. Maybe to get the entire wings done, that's going to be quite expensive. Yeah, but it's an old cop car, so it shouldn't look pristine. So, you know, how much history do I want in the thing? Oh, so anyway, what I was going with this was, yeah, I was looking at the oil. It's been sat for a year, so on mileage it doesn't need oil change. The oil looks really good. I mean, maybe I should do an oil change because moisture could have got in there, so maybe I'll just do that. I did buy a batch of oil filters when I did my last Rock Auto order, but I was looking at the coolant. That looks a little bit manky. Also, the auxiliary belt looks a wee bit cracked, so I'll look at getting a new one of them. Thing is though, because this is the same engine as a Mustang, there's a good chance I can buy the auxiliary belt and the tensioner for it here in the UK off the shelf somewhere. So I'll check into that before I order it from America. Well, would you believe it? We've got a pass. This is almost unheard of. Most of my cars seem to be roadworthy and legal at the moment. That's unheard of. It's bizarre. I feel faint. I don't know what to do with myself. So right now, because I am just in celebration mode, I am heading down to, well, taking the car home for one thing, but also going to get a drive-through coffee because that's exciting. It's a shame there's not a Timothy Hortons nearer to here, otherwise I'd head straight there and grab a cup of Joe right now. But as it is, we've got a McDonald's. I've never taken this thing to a drive-through. It strikes me as a bad idea. Let's find out how bad it is while I tell you all the things that went wrong with this car on the MOT and what we're doing next. One of the wheels is squeaking bad. Because the brakes have been sat for so long.
Yep, what can I get for you?
Just a small black coffee, please.
Next window, please.
Thank you. That is really creaking bad. Hello, you're right.
Yep, that's £1.49.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Thanks a lot. Oh, those brakes. What is squeaking? Handbrake's definitely off. Oh, thank you. Wrong car for this.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Coffee has been acquired. Nice cup of black coffee. Can't go wrong with that. I'm leaving the engine running for a fairly significant reason. Not an MOT fail because the car ran through the test quite happily. However, the battery is absolutely banjaxed and I had to go and jump start it to bring it home. And then, so I'm having to leave it running because I've got jump start packs in the car, but I was trying to avoid using them as much as possible. Maybe letting it run a while will kind of solve the whole dead battery situation. I will go and check out what kind of battery it takes. I think it's an 096 in this. I've been starting to put Yuasa batteries in basically everything because they just last and last and last. This battery is a US battery and they seem to be a bit more hefty than European batteries. However, after sitting in the docks at New York for so long, this one was pretty much toast, and they're sitting around for a year after that, having only driven it a short time in this country. It's done for it basically. It's a few years old. Anyway, as I was saying, advisories. He mentioned there was signs of corrosion on the chassis, which is fair enough, because I used the, what's the black, goopy, horrible stuff to apply in the yellow can that everyone uses and has done for decades, but really is just as good as sticking bubble gum over the floor. I put that on when I brought the car in 2020, whenever it was. That is now not really working real well, so I've got to get back under there, wire brush and chemical clean, strip the car back to bare metal and clean it in. And I've started using different products which are much more effective, much more good at killing and preventing rust. So I'm just going to redo the floor of this thing. So that's a project for me, isn't it? And one of the track rod ends, the boot has gone. And so it's not actually letting dirt in yet, but that's a do it now, basically kind of a job. So yeah, we're there. Fortunately, this is a Crown Vic, so it has got all the extra cooling and stuff. So we can sit here and leave this thing idling as long as we want, quite frankly, because it will just idle forever. But also noticed over the last year or so, this has been repaired and it's coming through again since then. So I need to be looking at that. I need to sort out this where I cleaned the repair there. Didn't finish doing this because I'm considering, as I say, taking it to a body shop to go and do a nice job of that. And of course, this corner here has also got the bubbles through. So yeah, the repairs that were done previously were not good repairs, which is really annoying. Also, these Goodyear Eagle RSAs, these are pursuit rated tyres. I don't think you can buy in this country. They are starting to show their age. They're still good. There's still good tread on them. They're still pretty good condition, but there's a little bit of cracking starting to show. So I'm aware that on my list of things to do is replace all 4 tyres, along with, of course, the auxiliary belts and the tensioner for that. So service time. But it is, nonetheless, amazing to have this car back. Oh, the other thing, like you might have noticed as I was driving around the drive-through, something is squeaking really badly. I was going to go and check those wheels, see if any of them feel lukewarm. Yeah, equally lukewarm. No, lukewarm as well. Also, that's coolest actually. The thing is, these brakes have been sat for months and months and months, so there's a good chance there's going to be some, well, a lot of corrosion on them. So, well, I finally found a cup that will fit into the cup holder, because there aren't many. It's the old school little paper cups that seem to do the fitting in these things. You know, pulling up slip roads is a pain I'd forgotten about. Yes! V8 roar! So my current plan for the next 5 minutes is to try and drive those squeaks out of the brakes, because if it's just lack of use, furred up discs and what have you, a little bit of mileage and heat might well do the trick to free it off. If not, I'll be back at home with the jacks back out again and some brake grease and things to try and tidy things up. As it is though, I am very much enjoying driving this thing again. Oh, it's so good to have the Crown Vic back. Obviously I put the tax on it this morning. 30 quid a month to tax this thing. Jeez. I know I moan about road tax quite a lot, but if you've got multiple vehicles that don't do big miles every year, road tax is the absolute killer of all killers, because a disproportionately large amount of money for a car that doesn't go very far. So 30 quid for a car I'm going to do a couple hundred miles in probably. And it's already going to use a ridiculous amount of petrol, because it's not exactly frugal really, if I'm perfectly honest. It is kind of the icing on the cake of sucking, basically. But hey, never mind. I'm ignoring that pain and focusing on the, yay, I've got a working Crown Vic, I've got a road legal Crown Vic that I can put some miles on. I'll go and sort out that track rod end. I'll probably have to do both of them, I guess, now, but not a bad idea to do two at a time if you're going to do them both. I'll sort out the servicing items I mentioned. I'll sort out the wings one way or another. Interesting thing about that front wing on the right hand side, where you're sitting right now, is that when I've when I went in and sanded back to the metal, there was a lot of filler on that damn thing. It was so thick with the stuff, it was ridiculous. So it does show that someone had done a full-on bodge on that area as well, because they didn't leave the factory with a skim of 5mm of filler. The crazy thing is that all I've got to do, in theory, just a light sanding of it to smooth the edges and feather it all in actuality, I've probably got to put some filler back onto that in order to build it back up to the level of the rest of the wing. God knows what the rest of that's hiding. It does seem to be the way of the American body shop to do whatever work you need to do, then build an entirely new panel out of filler. Or just make the entire thing out of expanding foam and just filler over that instead. That works as well, apparently. Now, people always ask when I go for a drive and these kind of things, what are your plans for the car? You've got this thing, now what are you going to do with it? And apparently it's not enough to just have it and look at it and go, yeah, I like having that. People like you to have ambition, which is bizarre, frankly. No, I want to use the car as much as possible. It's a left-hand drive car, so it's perfect for a European road trip of some sort. I want to try and get it into TV and film. I know a few people who do TV and film car booking. I'd love the thing to be in sort of on a movie or a TV or something. Unfortunately, while it was off the road, I did have an offer to use it in a movie, but it needed to be road legal at the time, and I could have just trailered it up if it was in a studio, but it wasn't that kind of situation. So that's something I'd love to do. And of course, Rustival. Rustival is just around the corner. So this year, who knows what cars are going to bring to Rustival 2 in September, but this one will be a good contender for it. Maybe this and the Tomcat would be a nice pair to bring. I've tried to use those little wire in amongst the LEDs resistors again on this car the other day to try and slow down those indicators a wee bit. Still no joy with this thing. They work perfectly on the MX-5, but I guess because it's the two bulbs next to each other, it just confuses it. But you can buy a dedicated LED flasher relay for one of these things. So that is something I'm gonna try and get ordered up, just to sort of calm down the indicators a wee bit. I've also got some little button orange LED lamps which I want to try and stick underneath the mirrors maybe, or somewhere on the side, discreet, just tuck it in out of the way. So I've got a side repeater that you don't really notice. I don't want to stick one on the wing because that just looks wrong, but maybe underneath the mirror, perhaps. The ultimate goal would of course be the Wayland mirror cap lights. You get them as red and blue LEDs as part of the police package, but you can only get amber ones that go in that same police package. You can wire them up as part of the indicator. And with the general lack of observation of people these days, not a bad idea. Now, are we still squeaking? Less, I would say. Definitely less. Yep, I think it was just dirty brakes. That's a lot quieter than it was before. Just stop a minute and enjoy my coffee. And there's so many places you can go and grab a coffee from, but to be perfectly honest, because I don't drink any of the milky, flavoursome coffees, I only have plain black, and if possible, cafetiere drip kind of coffee rather than, fresh coffee, brewed coffee rather than Americano. Over-the-counter stuff, McDonald's is by far the best basic coffee. It's nice. Starbucks always give you the Americano, which is way too sharp and bitter. Pret, I'm sure it's a really good 99p, just a fresh coffee, drip coffee kind of thing. I don't know if they still do that or not. Not been to one for a while. But yeah, from out and about, plain black coffee, McDonald's, can't go wrong. Obviously, I'm still letting the car idle because it might not start again. I have got multiple jump packs in the back there. Quick update on what the car's doing. It is charging well. Whether that battery's holding any of those volts, I have no idea. Quarter of a tank of fuel, only 82,000 miles still on this thing. Nothing at all. Temperature holding steady, oil pressure good. Because this is a police interceptor, it can just run all day. You can leave the thing running just non-stop. It'll just keep on going and going and going. It's what it does. It's what it's built for. One more thing while I've got you. Does anyone have any idea how you reset the clock on this particular model of Ford radio? Because I have no clue. I'm sure it's going to be some kind of weird combination of pushing 3 buttons at once and then you push the up-down button, but I don't know which buttons you push in combination. That's the AM button behind the little cop down there. Yeah, squeakies do seem to have gone a lot. Right, should we do a launch? I'd like to do a launch. Jeez, the accelerator seems to have stuck down. Had a brief Cybertruck moment there. The floor mat slipped over the accelerator. I wanted to keep on accelerating, which is not ideal. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, amazing, epic day in the history of the Crown Vic. We're back on the road with MOT, taxed, legal again. We can actually use this thing as a car rather than just a large storage shed on the drive once more, which is quite a nice thing. I mean, it's now pushing up to school collection time, so I'll probably go off and do school pickup in it, because it's nothing makes my son happier than to see his dad jumping out of the jump pack to start the car in front of all his friends. That's just the coolest thing possible, I think, in his eyes. This may or may not be correct. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe. Don't forget you can go and buy Crown Victoria mugs, t-shirts and stickers and magnets over at furiousdriving.co.uk. And if you want to come and see the car in person, possibly, head over to rustival.co.uk because, of course, the show is a-coming. Not far away till that one in September. Right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you again soon. Right, I think we're kind of done with the Crown Vic for a few episodes now. Go back to moving something else, like the Mercedes at last.